Let's see how many missiles I can dodge. Hello everybody, welcome back to the seagull scene from Finding Nemo, this time with the Kfir C.7. This is currently the fastest aircraft in the game, going well over Mach 2 if you're at the optimal altitude, and it's the birth child of taking a Mirage airframe and slapping a Phantom engine in it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I find this thing pretty fun to play, even though it has limited armament. Something about the comical amounts of thrust just never fails to make me have fun, even if I don't do very good in the game. The AIM-9G actually fits the plane pretty well, even if it isn't the greatest missile, as it's one of the longer range Sidewinders, letting you launch it off at like 4+ kilometers and get these long range snipe kills. I normally don't like using the term support fighter because a lot of the times when people say that, it just means that the plane is bad. But genuinely, I think the Kfir is a support fighter. Once people stop looking at you with their radars, whether you're notching or just so high up and going so fast that they wouldn't even think to look there, your job is to look for people who might be threats to your teammates soon, and look down at them from space to launch an orbital AIM-9G at them. Man, this is even subject to change. The Python 3 is a missile that's currently sitting in the files right now, just waiting for its day to be added, and it's an absolutely nutty missile. Imagine an AIM-9L, but it goes twice as fast. Now, put this on the fastest aircraft in the game, and you have an all-aspect hunter-killer who can hit you from distances that you didn't even think was possible. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a perfect case study on why it's important to look up. You never know if there's a Kfir hauling ass across the battlefield, so that he can get on top of you and start slinging AIM-9Gs from 6 kilometers away. As much as I'd love to stay here and tussle with some F5Cs, my biggest advantage is my engine power and thus my ability to stay fast and climb. I'm going to go back into space so that I can repeat the tried and true process of climbing to an altitude higher than people would think to look and launching AIM-9Gs at people who would never even expect it. Honestly, even with the decent crew, because I already own the A4E, I'm constantly blacking out in this thing because I didn't have an expert crew. It's one of the biggest problems I faced. You're just going so fast that whenever you turn, you're pulling like 8 or 9 Gs sustained. I try and jump scare this F5C here with a missile because he was otherwise paying attention. But when you're always pulling 8 or 9 Gs, your pilot doesn't really like that, and he becomes a pancake, blacking out all the time. I will say, the F5C spam bringing you somewhat frequent down tiers is pretty nice. It helps out this thing a lot, as you're going to be facing less Tomcats, which is very important for your health. Personally, I'm not a fan of taking AIM-7Fs to the face, though you can dodge AIM-54 Phoenixes. Still, I prefer just to not eat kilograms of explosives to the face. Before the Tomcat came to the game, you had free reign of altitude at all times. The thing is, back then, you could outrun every single missile, as long as you just stayed fast, somewhat perpendicular to their missile. The vast majority of missiles just simply did not have the kinematics to ever catch you that way. But now, with the Tomcat, it's able to just sling AIM-7Fs at you that you'll never be able to dodge, as you can't really chaff it with Pulse Doppler, and if you try to notch it, they can actively switch to normal tracking mode while they're still locking you. Plus, with the new update about to allegedly bring the MiG-29 to the game, good luck ever defeating the R-27 as well. If you've ever faced a MiG-23 and gotten slammed by the R-24, imagine that, but better in every single way. It's not going to be a good time for the Kfir. Also, your niche of having an insanely high thrust, lightweight aircraft is also going to, allegedly, be taken by the F-16. The Kfir, if it doesn't get Pythons, is likely going to be in a very sad state soon. So, if you own this thing, I highly recommend to play it now before it becomes not that enjoyable. Currently, I'm blitzing towards their airfield as I need to catch this Harrier before he makes it there. Unfortunately, he has just enough distance on me that he's going to make it, and I'm going to have to deal with him camping it and getting shot at by SAMs. Fortunately, because this thing is so fast and has such a strong climb rate, you're able to abuse this to outrun the airfield surface-to-air missiles. It's almost like the SR-71 Blackbird in that sense, in that if you get too close, you just light your burner all the way up, climb as much as you can, and pray that the missiles are not going to be able to catch you, as the Rolands aren't the greatest at catching supersonic targets. Now, pro tip gamers, landing at your airfield is a privilege, not a right. If you climb to 4,000 kilometers, I meant to say meters. 4,000 kilometers is like twice as far as the farthest orbiting satellites from Earth. Anyway, if you dive from a little over 4,000 meters directly on top of the airfield, the Rolands won't be able to shoot at you. There's a small chance that the gun AA will be able to pick you up, but that doesn't happen most of the time still. Just turn on your ground targeting mode, line them up, and yeah, I mean, if they J out here, there's nothing you can really do about it. But otherwise, that's a free kill and a way to make the match end faster, as nobody likes waiting on that guy who just sits on their airfield or plays airfield NASCAR for the rest of the game. After reacquiring me, the Rolands try their hardest to try and shoot me down, but I just broke Mach in a sharp climb. They're never going to be able to catch me. They just explode harmlessly behind me. He finally decides to take off, but I only have like 30 seconds of fuel left, so I'm literally just going to glide down on top of him. It helps that I have the SMT to back me up, as he can force him slow and I can make gun passes on him. That's all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, as I would really like to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It's a little bit of a long shot, but I don't think it's impossible. I think we can do it. Other than that, I have my communities in the description, the Patreon if you'd like to support me directly, and the Discord if you'd like to be part of a growing community of active War Thunder players. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.